Hello, welcome to week 3. I want to commend you all on a great job getting through this first task that we went through, which is to try to find something interesting using the data on Twitter. The reason why this is a really big challenge is Twitter is a big unstructured data set that many of you have just encountered for the very first time. Maybe some of you didn't know what Twitter was or how or why it would be searched. But I can let you know that it is just somewhat of a stream of consciousness, and finding things is very difficult. So having looked through what you were able to accomplish, I'm really proud, and I think you've also sort of learned a lot about how many things you'll need to create a good structure to find and to organize something. That's really the goal of this. So while I think you all did well, I think hopefully it leads into things that we're going to do in these upcoming weeks, especially this week as we try to look for patterns in our data. I'm also very happy that you all shared with each other the different work you're doing in Airtable. I know we had some difficulty sharing Airtable links. I'll work a little bit harder to make sure there's better instructions on how to share up front. And appreciate you guys having patience with me, as sometimes these things are a little bit hard to do. But we'll be using these kind of tools very much as the course moves on. So please follow these instructions as best you can, because I'll be using them also to grade and so forth, as well as share with each other. So let me get over to this week. What I'd like you to focus on is just what I was saying earlier. There's a bit of a checklist up here. If it's not completely clear, just make sure you realize this data is now yours and you can change it and do whatever you want with it. If you're making up new data, I can understand it's hard to go and find 50 to 1,000 examples of it. I don't need that. Just try to give me some examples, maybe 3 or 4 or 5. What I'm looking for is what kind of things do you think will be in your table. This exercise that you had around creating a form for your Airtable was a lot about that thought process, which is what actually goes into those fields. Is it a number? Is it a name? Is it a piece of text? If you find that every piece of information in your table is a piece of text, that will also end up being something that you'll want to work on and correct. So I know this is all brand new, so we're looking to find these patterns. I do have an example here of a fantastic database. When I had the database I was interested in, it was very small and actually kind of not very usable. But then I found a database that was more about perfumes, and they had a ton of data about smells. So it's really about mashing those two things up. And that's where I create enough data to be able to actually work as we move along to organize it and to make it universal to the word I keep using. There's also a new module. We're learning different things, different ways that Mural works to help organize information. So I know that's another challenge for you all, and I appreciate you taking on 2 challenges at once. So this week we've got a few different questions that need to be answered in a sticky note. And if you do run over, don't forget there's always the ability to use comments. But these are all thought starters to help hone in on what you might need to add or where you need to get more data to make your database actually useful. So that's it for this week. Hope you get started on this so that we can fix up that data and get it ready to go. Thanks.